Our main story tonight, Oliver's legacy. Thousands of nurses and doctors are being given training after he died when he was given the incorrect medication.
This is about us all coming together, working together to try to prevent further avoidable deaths like Oliver's from happening over and over again.
The new training plan is being rolled out throughout the NHS. Good evening. All hospital and care staff across the country are now being given special training to treat patients with autism following the death of a teenager from Bristol. Oliver McGowan died in 2016 in intensive care after incorrectly being given a drug that caused his brain to swell.
The Oliver McGowan Mandatory Training is named after my son Oliver, and I would therefore like to spend some time telling you about who Oliver was as a person, what happened to him, and just exactly why this training is just so vitally important.
This training is designed to challenge preconceptions carers may have about autism and learning disabilities. It draws heavily on the tragic events that surround the last days of Oliver McGowan when he was admitted to Southmead with a seizure. The 18-year-old was very anxious and agitated, despite warnings in his medical notes of his reactions to antipsychotic drugs and his parents. Medication was still given.
Because staff didn't understand his autism and how it affected him, he was chemically restrained, and that being given an antipsychotic medication. And this caused Oliver's death.
Oliver's is one of 1,200 preventable deaths in people with learning disabilities each year.
They're dying because of constipation, because those needs have not been met. And you've asked me that question about Oliver's training, what's different. This is actually about staff learning directly from autistic people. It's learning directly from learning disabled people, how best to help them. Things have got to change. There's been many programs where we're seeing the abuse, horrific abuse of these communities. We're talking about broken jaws, broken femur bones. Things have got to change, Matthew, they really have.
Southmead, the hospital at the heart of this tragedy, was one of the centres to pilot the Oliver McGowan training, available to anyone working in a care setting regulated by the Care Quality Commission. Now, it's also available to back office staff such as receptionists.
There is a face-to-face element of the training, and then a tier 2, which is actually for those who are delivering services, which is a much more intensive face-to-face programme.
Oliver's parents have lived through several traumatic years since his death, but knowing that this training will prevent future deaths is a huge consolation.